What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video on my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out a map which you guys may have heard of. It's called A Balanced World. It has over 20,000 locations and it is notorious for being a super difficult map. Now, it is created by Debre, who is the World Cup representative for Hungary. And one of the things about being a super strong player is that you know exactly what is going to constitute a hard round. And so that is why Debre has been able to make a map with an average score of 12,000 points. Crazy low. I find it crazy how no one has yet gotten 24,000 on no moving, panning, or zooming since the leaderboard update, and only two people have eclipsed the 24,000 point mark even on no moving. So what we're going to try and do today is get a 24,000 point on an NPZ and try and build up a bit of a country streak as well. This is not going to be easy, guys. I think you're going to see me go on the wrong continent multiple times in this video, but let's just see how I'm able to do as we start off on a first one here, which is looking like a pretty easy Philippines. It kind of looks like Indonesia, but we have the concrete road here and the bike driving on the right hand side of the road. So yeah, should just be Philippines here. Obviously we're going to go for the highest score we can. I did kind of get more of a south vibe here, but I could actually see all around the country on this one. So may actually just kind of go more so in the middle of the country here. Let's give that a go. And it was actually, it was exactly where I clicked, but that's okay. We have a one country streak here. Next one is immediately the type of round that I would expect on this map. Very rural and very ambiguous. We're just in a forest here. We don't see any antenna. We don't see too much that can give it away here. A lot of birch trees and a lot of Scots pines. That's what I've noticed here. I think Poland is probably the obvious choice here. And yet I could easily see this being like a baity Czechia. There's even a bunch of like Southern Europe that actually can have rounds that look like this. However, the prevalence of the wildflowers on the side of the road here would tend to make me think this is a bit further north. But yeah, still think like Czechia, Romania, Bulgaria, that kind of stuff. Even Spain to some extent could be possible here. But yeah, overall, I mean, that hill in the background is quite big, so I think I may opt for Czechia rather than Poland here. But yeah, I mean, I can see this being a whole bunch of different places. And it was Russia. Actually, did cross my mind, but the fact that the road was so thin there made me think it probably wasn't there, but that is a good example of what's probably going to happen for the rest of this video. Okay, next one is a super interesting round. I think it actually should be Mexico. The reason is we got like a really rocky soil and we got a bunch of pine trees here which feel a bit out of place because this building doesn't feel European and the rest of the round doesn't really make sense for Europe either. So I think it is a very rocky soil Mexico. I guess if it was going to be Europe, it'd probably be Spain or something like that. But yeah, feeling fairly good that this is Latin America. I think if it wasn't Mexico, probably Peru, because that's another country where you obviously see a lot of rocky soil as well. But I think the trees here, feeling more CDMX area. We'll see about that. And okay, it was Colombia instead. Also makes sense. Yeah, probably would have been my third option, I guess, but definitely a difficult one there. And as you can see, 5,000 points. Let's see if we can at least get above 12,000 here. Well, this is obviously Hokkaido because we have the arrows that point down to the road so that people during the snow time can see where the road is. And I think this is more just feeling like the center of Hokkaido, so I'm just going to click here. And it was indeed the center there. Very nice indeed. Okay, so that was a good score. We need to recreate that a few times to get 24,000. The last one here is interesting. I can't even tell what continent we're on initially. I mean, it should be Europe, right? And yet I don't really see what country this would be. Maybe like Serbia came to mind. It's not a typical Serbia, but I could definitely see that working. I even thought of maybe Portugal or something like that, but something doesn't feel quite right on that account. Maybe even like Greece. I don't know. There's a bunch of options here. We already have a pretty average score, so I'm just going to go for Serbia, which was one of my thoughts here. And where's it going to be? Okay, Greece, yeah. Indeed. Okay, so there we go. 14,300. I guess we did beat the average score, which does include people who are playing moving and that kind of thing. But let's try and improve all that on this seed, which looks like it might be starting out here with, I mean, it looked initially like Turkey, but we have a blue calf, so that is not found in Generation 4 in Turkey. So my next thoughts are definitely Italy or Spain, and I think the back of the sign kind of feels Italian here rather than Spanish. I don't know, maybe this like square sign would be like kind of like the Italian like highway marker or something like that, not really sure. But the buildings could certainly fit for like Sicily or something like that. I could definitely see it. If it's not Sicily, I think maybe Spain. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where this one would be. I will go in, will I go all the way south? I think I will. I'll go here in Sicily. Let's find out where this actually is. And it was Sicily. Okay, really nice start to the seed there. Obviously, we're dropping 300 points, 3,500 points, but you know, it's a good start. Next one here, just northern Finland, where you get a lot of the snow coverage, very thin tree coverage. Rocks on the side of the road is also something you find often in like Norway and Sweden. So yeah, I mean Finland and Sweden. And this pole top with the support beam definitely feels Finnish to me. So with snow, it's often on this kind of border up here. So that's what I'll click. The road angle is kind of going more north to south. So I guess I'll click a little bit further south here, but now, there are actually sections up here that could fit as well. I don't see any hills, so I'll go a bit further south here. Let's see where it actually is. And it was just a bit inland there. Again, we potentially still could get the 24,000, but things not looking up for that. We can still get a good score, though. Okay, next one here is loading in. This one should be Russia. So when you see this kind of landscape in Russia where it's very cold looking, a lot of birches like this, I think you tend to associate that, especially when it's autumn time, with this Novosibirsk area or around here. So I was probably just going to guess here. I think it can be anywhere down to Bisk. This whole kind of area has a lot of this coverage. And the road angle fits. Like you can see it's kind of running a bit northwestern, like on these kind of roads, which you can see this angle is really common in here. Like most Russia players, people who are good at Russia will know that you get this, like this road angle quite a lot. And so it's very treeless. And I think I'll just set on this road, though I'm not really sure which one is most likely. Okay, it was a bit further down there. Still a good score. Still on a 3-country streak. But should have just picked one that was a bit further south. Okay. Next one here. We can still get a good score here. This is Mexico. Because we've got the short number plate. This model of castles are very common in Mexico. But I don't actually have a good idea where this is. The red soil is throwing me off a little bit here. But yeah, I definitely think Mexico, especially with this American pickup truck in the background, super common thing to see in Mexico. But yeah, I actually don't know where this is. I'm trying to think of a good place I could think of sending it. Guanajuato, I'm not really sure if you see such red soil there. Maybe like Hidalgo or something like that could work quite nicely here. I'm really not sure. Are there any like, yeah, there's no vegetation. These trees you can find everywhere in Mexico, I think. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I can see it being a lot further north as well, but I'm going to send right here. And okay, it was a bit further west, yeah, not quite Guanajuato, but instead in Jalisco, but still a good score, I guess. 4,000 is fine. And the next one here is going to be in, I mean, it looks like initially Albania. The reason I say that is because we have like lots of water tanks on the roof, so I like that for Albania. I don't really know why I thought it was Albania, to be honest with you. But we do have a big ridge of mountains over there to our west, so that's kind of interesting. Why is it to our west rather than to our east? Certainly can fit for certain places in Albania, but you would tend to see it the other direction most times. So we could be like in Berat or something like that, looking at the mountains west. Although they should be a bit further away. So I'm not really sure. I'd like to find somewhere that at least fits quite nicely here. Maybe around the Lake Ohrid there could work. Maybe Tirana has West Mountains. Yeah, I think this should be just Tirana West Mountains, I guess. So I'm going to send in Tirana here. If I'm right. Oh my. There were Argentinian lamps. Gosh, okay, I didn't really think about that long enough. But yeah, they were Argentinian lamps. I thought there was just like a weird exception there. And of course, the West Mountains there were the Andes. Embarrassing. Okay. That was a good seed up to there, but that's okay. Next one here. I'm thinking that this immediately looks... we have snow poles here. So snow poles are normally found in Europe, and they're famously found in Andorra, but I don't know if these are Andorran ones. So I'm thinking maybe of like a Italy or something like that here. Italy often has like these really dark roads, I feel. So I think Italy is quite a good option here. A lot of pines, but they don't feel like Northern European pines. They're definitely more of a South vibe. The other option I think is Turkey. I think Turkey is also quite a good option here. Maybe even better than Italy. If I'm thinking of actual like places I could place it in my head, I think like Northern Turkey is actually quite strong here, like around Bolu or something like that. Maybe even a bit further south. So I think I'll send that, but yeah, Italy, my second option here. Honestly, the lines on the outside of the road do feel more Italian. So, yeah, I think I'll switch back to Italy. I don't think those snow poles are quite Turkish enough. So I'm going to go like that instead. And it was actually Greece there. Very difficult round. We'll reset because we want to bet it. We want at least a country streak, if not a high score. So let's get into the next one here. This is Greece. Double white lines. Big mountains in the background. I mean, I think I'm right. Am I? You know, this map really does make you not trust yourself. But the double white lines are just so Greek, especially with the pale road. Pretty sure I'm happy to send there. And probably like around this kind of... the Gulf of Corinth. I think this kind of area works quite nicely. So I'm just going to go for that. We'll see if it's right. Okay, it was a little bit inland there, looking at a lake, but that's a good score. Very good score. Okay, next one here. Generation 2. Lots of pines here. This could be a whole bunch of places, but is it actually Europe? I very much assumed it was Europe with the grass in the middle of the road here. We have some bins. That's interesting. But if this was America, I wouldn't actually be too surprised, because those bins kind of feel more of like an American style. So I guess maybe the kind of next closest relative in Europe would be the UK, which has similar bins. And I could see this being like all the way south in the UK. Really, my first thoughts were like Belgium or Netherlands, but I'm not really sure if you'd see such like wheelie bins there, at least not in black. I feel like that would be a bit strange. So definitely prepared for this to be North America, but if we want to go for a good score, I would click in the forest here. Let's give it a go. Okay, Denmark, one of the countries I thought of in my head. But that was a very difficult round to get, I feel, so we'll continue on here, but not a particularly good score, of course. This is oh, it's not Portuguese pavement at all. No, this type of pavement is actually pretty ubiquitous in Europe. I think I was tripping a bit there, but it says Stadtplatz here, so town place here. So 2022 copyright shouldn't be in Germany, in which case I would say that this is Austria. And I didn't really get from this arch a particularly Vienna vibe, so I was thinking got Linz or Salzburg here. And I will try Linz, though I really have no idea. This could be in any of the major cities, I feel. And it was actually on the border instead in Braunau. Braunau am Inn. Interesting. But we got a good score. And the second last one here is in South Africa. Jacaranda tree here. That's interesting. Not really sure if it gives me too much, but these mountains should be the more southern mountains, I assumed. Though it's not a particularly easy round, I can actually see this being north as well. You know, the vibes are definitely mixed. I think that this mountain is big enough that we can send the south coast, but I just want to mention that I could see it being further north as well. So I'm going to go around here, see where it actually is. And it was north. Okay, these are like the biggest mountains north, I feel. Terrible guess, but that's okay. It wasn't in a tournament. I can be fine with it. Okay, and the last one here is Ukraine or Russia, presumably. We have a Lada here, so surely one of the two countries. Honestly, I got a bit more of a Ukrainian vibe here, though I'm not really sure which river this is. But yeah, I'm happy to just go Ukraine. Honestly, this seed's already doomed anyway, so I will go outside of Kyiv here. Why not? Let's give that a go. And it was actually just up there in Pskov Oblast. So a score of 17,000. Look, could be worse. I actually think that's as high as we've gotten so far, but let's just head through here again and hope we can do a bit better. This should be, I imagine, Albania or Montenegro. Huge mountains here. Poor quality road might maybe lean a bit Albania, but both countries very possible here, and I think more north in Albania, although Albania's not really strong, so it could easily be south here as well, in my opinion. And it was just over the border there, but it's a good score. We can deal with that. Next one here, we have an interesting combination of clues here. I can't initially work out what country we're in, though I'm wondering, are these, yeah, these are orange reflectors inside the guardrail here, so I assume Spain on that account, unless I'm misreading the color here. The sign in the distance has a very thick red border, so I think Spain still works. I must admit, though, the whole round didn't feel particularly Spanish, so I'm wondering, are we like all the way northwest here on like the Portuguese border or something like that? Honestly, I'm gonna give that a go. It came to mind, and I think it's a decent guess, yeah. And it was actually in the north there, so it's a pretty good score, and we get the country right. Next one here is South Africa, and this is interesting because we do have like a very kind of barren landscape and not many trees going on at all. So I would assume maybe somewhere like around Carnarvon or something like that. Carnarvon's very flat though, so I'm not really sure if this is a good sand. Maybe it's a bit further south. Let's go Loxton instead. And it was all the way south there, wow. Very much, I would expect more trees there normally. This one I think might be South Africa again, you know. But the road is very pale. I'm wondering, could I be completely on the wrong track here? What about these yellow flowers here? Ooh, this is a hot. I think that this is a very strange round, and I am very curious to see where this fence is. Like, if I was thinking in Europe, this type of fence would be most commonly found in like the UK or something. But such a pale road is not something I particularly associate with the UK, nor Ireland, though I think Ireland is at least possible here, and you have to expect the unexpected on this map. We do have cows. We do have pine forest, which you do see like planted pine forest inside Ireland. So I'm willing to give it a go. I don't think the house feels particularly Irish. I don't think the road does, but I think, and also the amount of rubbish, like surely this is not South Africa. Maybe those yellow flowers are a South African thing. But the thing is, it's also very like cold looking. Why am I between Ireland and South Africa, bro? This map is actually driving me crazy. I want to get a good score, but I'm always just being prevented. So where do we go? I think it's too much rubbish for Ireland. I'm gonna say it. The cows are definitely interesting. Is that a horse actually? Is that just a white horse? Yeah, I think it's actually a horse. So I'm not really sure how that would change my opinion on anything, but it is interesting. Maybe around, not George, not Naberha. I think maybe actually like up here, but this would be no too tropical, right? I'll go Port Edward here. I think this is a ridiculous guess. I think this is wrong, but I think it could be South Africa. I just don't know where in this country it would actually be. And it is indeed the UK in Cornwall. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's move on from that one. You guys heard what I thought. Okay, this one is a lot of ferns going on. Very white soil. Why am I in a South Africa 50-50 again here? I don't think this one's actually South Africa. I'm pretty sure it's not. Though, if it is, it's probably around George. But if... No, I think it is South Africa. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm gonna do it again, aren't I? I think the ferns are kind of too big for, like, Portugal. This would be Portugal if it's Europe, I think. And the road is wide. So, I'm gonna go George. Oh, help me. I don't know what this is. Please be right. Okay, thank goodness. Well, there you go. At least we had some redemption here. Another 17k. If we just have a game where we don't send the wrong continent once, then we'll have a nice score. But I want to at least do that before I end this video. This is interesting. This is Australia, obviously. We have very white soil here. And I'm not recognizing this infrastructure, so I mean, obviously with the white sand, it looks like South Australia, but I'm thinking this is actually Western Australia because I don't recognize what's going on here. So it kind of looked like it was going to be on Rottnest Island, but I think this road is simply a bit too wide for Rottnest Island, I would say. Yeah, I would like to think so. In which case, maybe just somewhere in like a national park around here, Yale or something like that, is my thought. Obviously, you do like to see a little bit more red soil when you get Western Australia, but I think the road being a bit gravelly, it fits. Everything fits here, so let's give it a go. Okay, at least it's WA. We only got 3.6k. I'm going to reset that because I want a good score. I want a decent score to like put myself on leaderboards here before the end of the video. But okay, here we go. South Australia again. Very pink road. Pink roads in South Australia are normally found around the Eyre Peninsula, so I'm thinking of just guessing like Wodunna or something like that. Wodinna. But yeah, does that actually fit? I think we have Mallee eucalypts here, which are kind of like lower, wider canopy, so I do like this area. I guess my concern would be that it's somewhere on the Victorian border, just with a random pink road, but I'm going to send over here. And okay, it was on that road. Very good. Nice. Okay, next one here, Uruguay, I would say, with a chance of Brazil. And I think the poles are definitely looking more Uruguayan here, although that's an interesting lamp. Almost looks Mexican. I would say this is Uruguay. I mean, the ocean is north. Okay. I still think it's Uruguay. I think this is just like one of these land bridge areas here. The ocean north is definitely wild, but it could just be something like that, like a lagoon or something like that, you know? In fact, we could even be on it. I feel like I've seen it very similar around to this in the past. What about this? Oh, this is very 5Kable, you know? All of a sudden, I'm kind of interested to click the right place here. We do see not too much civilization on the other side here. Anything like this is pretty possible. I think that land bridge, probably less likely than the one we had clicked before here. But again, what if it was just Montevideo here? Very possible, actually. That we need not too much civilization going on, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm pretty confident on it anyway, so I think I'll just scan one more time here. Yeah, it's not that one, surely, and not that one either. So I think I want to say it's this area. But yeah, I guess I'll just be happy to go like this. What about this? That feels decent. Hope I didn't switch off the 5K, but it is actually in Argentina. Yeah, I guess none of the things we looked at really made sense. This makes a lot of sense when you look at it on the map. Nothing going on this side of the road, and we actually have the river, and this side we actually have docks. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent score. We can still get 20,000, so that's what I'm going to go for now. This is Europe, surely. We have, was that canola fields or something like that? Definitely findable in Europe, sure. It's very flat here. This feels like this kind of valley here, like the kind of Bratislava, Vienna, Western Hungary valley, to me, initially. So I guess maybe the Slovakian side could make a lot of sense here. Alternatively, there's a bunch of European places that this could work for. It's 2022 coverage, so we know it's not Germany, which is helpful. I mean, it is that flat that you could see Netherlands working here, I think, but something about the trees made me a bit less confident on that, so yeah, I think I'll stick with my guess here. Oh, Po Valley. Po Valley, Italy is now an interesting thought. Maybe I prefer that. Maybe I prefer that. It is so flat that I think I do. I really think it's between the two places I've mentioned here, but I'm going to go in Rovigo here. And damn, it was that valley. Oh well, you know, sometimes you lose these 50-50s. I wish I didn't think of Italy, because it did look like Italy as well, I must say. Okay, this is this Hong Kong or Singapore? I think it's Singapore, actually. I'm looking at this like double yellow line here, kind of the way this house is. Think Singapore. Though, you guys know I love to be wrong about this 50-50, so we'll see. And it was Singapore there. Okay, nice. That's always a good score boost. So we can get a 20,000 here. And initial thought here that this might actually be Hong Kong this time, though I am questioning that. It looks like it's left-hand drive because the stop sign is on the left here. It says in English, welcomes you, which is interesting. That doesn't really feel like the type of thing you'd say, for example, in Australia. We'd probably just say like welcome or something like that instead. So that's interesting. I think it's South Africa, actually. Now, the sun does appear to be slightly north, though it's pretty much midday, so that's not too reliable, I think. The vegetation looks a bit Australian, so I kind of like that aspect for Africa as well. And the kind of sloped curb here is also quite common there. So I'm really hoping that this is not Hong Kong for my sanity's sake. But I do like South Africa here definitely better. And we've definitely seen some bait South Africa so far. I was thinking like this is like anywhere from Debre all the way up to like Richards Bay. But I thought East London. I've definitely seen some ones that look like that, though we don't see any national parks here. Maybe some small ones. Oh, we'll click here. Why not? Let's go for it. Where is it actually? Okay, well, it's actually all the way by George. I guess a lot of those rounds often look like George. And we scrape in with a 20,000 pointer, which is an achievement in itself, to be honest. I want better than that, though. 20,000 is still so low. We can do better. We can do better. Come on. Lock in. Lock in. This is a concrete road, which is very interesting to me. It looks like Russia or North America or something very northern here. And I'm trying to think what it would be in Russia if it was there, because we have fireweed, which means we have to be quite far north wherever we are. And the mountains are immense here, and it's a lot of infrastructure too, so it should be a very distinctive place. Oh, these mountains are really big, but I think I just worked out where it was. I was thinking about Baikal. Could this be like Baikal? I think there are actually mountains big enough in Kirovsk. I think I found it. I think we're here. Is that a railway line next to us? Oh, I think I cooked up real good here, guys. I do. I think this is the 5K. Okay, let's think about how the road bends here. So we would be, I guess maybe like more this side, right? How's the ocean kind of go here? No, maybe we'd be more this side. I'm trying to think how this road's meant to bend up. Yeah, I think it's just safer to click here because we're right next to the ocean, honestly. So it probably is just here, but I'm thinking it's right. I'm thinking it's right. Okay, nice. It was a bit further down. Oh, a different road there. That makes sense, but that is a pretty nice guess, guys. I'm happy that I managed to think of it there. And so no one's going to be angry at me for getting a terrible guess. And, well, I thought this was Russia for a sec again, like all the way down south, but instead this is USA, and it is probably one of the Dakotas. So not probably great for points, but I think we can nail down the region here. Just the way... Ooh, where's the sun? Sun's north. It's South Africa. I take it back. If the sun's north, this has to be South Africa. And that, again, is probably not that good for points, but let's see if we can, like, narrow down the right region here. So, random Generation 4 dirt road is pretty rare, I feel. It also feels very cold. That's why I wanted to go, like, Dakotas. So, I was thinking maybe just, like, Free State here. I could also see Northwest working nicely. But I think I'll just go Free State, even, like, out, like, Welcome Way or something like that here. Just hedging for a lot of the stuff that can be around here. So let's give that a go. No way that was Australia. Please, bro. How is that Australia? I'm actually shocked. No way, it's just one of these random roads. I thought that was a really weird road to be covered for South Africa. We went from from hero to zero here, guys. That is annoying. To be honest, like the farming equipment was like quite high tech in the background, so maybe that could have been the clue for Australia. But gosh, oh my gosh, guys. Okay, this I thought was Newfoundland. We've got an American truck here, and it feels very cold, and this architecture doesn't quite feel like typical North America, right? So I would say, like, yeah, it's somewhere in the far reaches here. I thought Cape Cod's may be possible. I still think that, but I think this would be like maybe out St. John's Way, maybe St. Anthony could be a good send here, just because it is so interesting feeling, you know? So yeah, I could definitely see it like being on this peninsula or something like that here. We do have the requisite hills, so I kind of like it, to be honest. We see those hills south, so maybe like there. Ultimately, I think like just anywhere in Newfoundland is probably my main guess here. I don't see anything that could confirm it for me. But yeah, just the architecture, it feels too strange to be elsewhere. I'm gonna send it here. Let's see it. Okay, not too bad. Was out one of these peninsulas. Pretty good score. I can live with it. Okay, next one here. This is Australia again, I think. Yeah, so what city would this be? Is it Sydney, where I've been staying? It is. Okay, we have a red sign here for Sydney. And I would assume this is way downtown. This is like right in the center of the city. So if I had to think about the different places I've been, maybe a bit further out, like this direction here. I'm trying. It has to be like a very small thing. I'll just go for this. It should be like right near here. Okay, it's a bit further south. Yeah, that's still a good score. Man, this could have been a great, crazy seed if we had have locked in on that Australia round. But what can you do? And this is, I think, an Italian license plate, but I think it's actually in Norway. Now we have big fjords here. You want to guess north here, but this town kind of feels a bit more southern to me. So the trees, I think they look like that just because we are really high latitude. I mean, really high altitude here. So like in these mountains here. Though this could be Lofoten as well. Actually, no, you do get towns that look like that in Lofoten, now that I think of it. But would you get a road this high? I feel like the road, it pretty much just follows the coast. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's not there. I think a road this high should be down here somewhere, theoretically. And yeah, it is great. Excellent. Okay, 18K again. We have a cracker game, and then we just drop the ball on Australia. That's crazy, man. Okay, we have to go again. I refuse to end it on that note. Okay, this is Turkey, up in the mountains. We got the Turkish car here. It shouldn't be too far from Istanbul. I'm just going to send it like that. Pretty good score. We can leave with it. Okay, next one here. Max North. I think this is Max North in Norway. Very small hills here. This has to be like all the way up in this kind of fjord region. Or not fjord region, but this kind of far reach region. I could also see it being this red. I'm not really sure if that's generation 4 or generation 2, but I'm going to go up here. Oh, it's all the way out there on an island. That makes sense. But the score's too bad. I'm reset. We are on a 5 streak, so we can preserve the 5 streak there. Because I didn't see the next round. But okay, let's see what happens here. This is Argentina with the black dot on the plate. The ocean is south-ish. So what would that make this here? This is a very interesting one. I thought maybe it was like Bahia Blanca here. But Bahia Blanca, you don't really go all the way to the edge of the ocean. So it has to be one of these ones, I think. Puerto Madryn, we're not looking south enough at the ocean. Comodoro is possible here, actually. We could be looking at that kind of thing, but... So we see that it's kind of a cove, and to our west, we have more land. It's not that, though. So I think Comodoro is still, like, theoretically possible, but... Okay, what about this? This is looking more promising. Puerto San Julian. Yes, it's a big lot of apartment buildings here, so it initially made me want to go further north, but on the other hand, we don't see any vegetation. Well, we do see some trees here. No, these trees are further north. I have to say that. I'm sad if it is going to be Julian, but I have to say those trees are further north, so one of these ones then, I think. But there's no good options coming to me here. Is it just one of these ones? Maybe so. Again, I don't really see... It's surprisingly few people here, and I don't really see where you'd get, like, that kind of bay, but also this kind of architecture as well. I just don't really see how it would be necessary. Puerto Madryn. Sure, we could be looking a little... I might just have my compass reading wrong here. Maybe the coast is kind of more east, and we're looking kind of... it's possible. because we do see like a lot of land out here. I'm gonna try putting Madrid. Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay, Commodore it was. Yeah, Commodore I still thought was possible. I'm so bad at reading the compass, but it's a reasonable score. We can continue on with that. Next one here. And we are looking at a little bit of Italy action here, I thought, with this tree. But, okay, what cars do we have? French car, French car. I think we're looking at southern France here. I see a bunch of Peugeots and stuff. So, if this was southern France, I would be liking its modern architecture. It's interesting. I think Marseille or Montpellier. I'm just going to go Marseille here. We'll see if it's right. Ooh, it was Marseille. Excellent. Excellent guess there. I was practicing some France recently, so I can be happy with that. Next one here. This is, we have a bunch of Ladas again. This is Russia. Trees are feeling quite north as well. A bit of reddish soil here. So, kind of feeling like it's this kind of region here, or northern Perm, or Izhevsk, or something like that. Can I differentiate? We have big hills here. That's throwing a spanner in the works. Could this be East Russia even? Maybe. What are these big hills doing here? I mean, Perm has hill. I'm seeing some hills in this town here. That would be crazy. So these hills we're seeing at East, oh my gosh. Dude, if I get this right, I think there's no way, right? That's a railway. I clicked on a railway. There's no way this is right. Like, that would be crazy. What? The railway is kind of going more north-south, I think, but it still could be that. Okay, let's think about this. So I thought Perm, we have tons of birches. It feels quite north, a bit of red soil. It also feels kind of underdeveloped, right? A little bit. East Ridge here. Here's where I've zoomed. Like, it's an interesting thought. I'm gonna give it a go, like, just because, like, if I switched off it and I was wrong, I would just be too heartbroken. If this might be my best guess ever if I get this right. No, like, low-key. Especially with, like, the railway, it is possible. But I'm not going to get too excited, like, yet. Let's see. Okay. In the Urals, we can at least deal with that. I was getting excited there for a second. A lot of birches for how far south it is. I mean, we're not that... I mean, yeah, no, there's still birch range for sure. But, yeah, I mean, just kind of felt northern. But still a decent score. This one, we have a North American church. And the vegetation here definitely gives me a north vibe, without a doubt. This church is also quite old. So I was thinking that this is most likely to be like New York, Vermont, New Hampshire. I could also see a pretty good argument for Michigan here as well, though. But maybe this hill is a bit too big for Michigan. So I will send New York as kind of the midpoint between my thoughts here. Is that a yellow plate? No, don't think so, but I'll still send New York. I think it's still a decent guess. Just over in Canada, I can deal with it. And the last one of this seed, we can get 20k again here. We can get 21k. If we get 21k, I'll end the video. Otherwise, we keep going. This is North Brazil. And I said that we have the, like, kind of blue and white car. And we have Brazilian. Actually, they are Brazilian poles, I think. Yeah. The only other option was Mexico. Is this actually Mexico? Wait, why did I decide this was Brazil? I think these insulators, this pole, the insulators kind of look like Mexico. So... all of a sudden, life's not so easy, but I still think if it is Mexico, then this kind of region around Tamaulipas is the best option. The sun appears to be more north, I think, but the clouds are kind of obscuring any proper info there. What about the road? The road kind of feels a bit Mexican, I could see it, and the number plate on the car, I think, is also short. So I think we do go Mexico here, I think we do go Tamaulipas here, and we hope. We hope and pray that this plonk in the middle of Tamaulipas is good enough, and it was the other side, so the video continues. Let's go again here. Back to it. This time it's Canada, because we got the guy wire on the pole. I mean, I thought it doesn't really look like the US, but actually, US on the Canadian border is quite possible too. And yeah, it's a very pale road for Canada. I do kind of worry about that now. Maybe hedging over the border is the better idea, but... where do I go here? Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to switch to Michigan here. Let's go that. And it was actually Wisconsin. Not a bad guess. We will reset. We want a better start than that. Still a fine start by any means. We get the country, which is nice, but... okay, this is more like it. This is just Cambodia. Now, I'm seeing a bunch of fancy roofs. I would be inclined to click just north of Phnom Penh here, Phnom Penh, for that reason. But I could also see easily, like, Siem Reap working quite nicely as well. So let's go Phnom Penh. And, okay, it was up north there. That's, yeah, I mean, the fancy roofs matter. You know, it is not the strongest. It is not the strongest. Okay, this one is Brazil. And we have a very interesting mix of like vegetation here, very low-lying, kind of northeastern Brazilian kind of vegetation. This kind of road is also very commonly found in the northeast, so I'm pretty much 100% confirmed on that. I think Paraíba is probably the best option, and it was just over in Rio Grande do Norte, but that's a good score. Next one here, just going to be Singapore. Give it to me, baby. That is an excellent country to see. We cannot complain about that. Should be downtown here. What the heck? Should have looked at that a little longer, but what were the yellow lines doing there? I do not know. We will reset. Debre. I know you're watching this. You are a cheeky fella. That you are. White lines here, but it looks like US or Canada or Norway. Why do we have white lines in the center? I do not know. What does that make it here? What are these rock walls doing? This makes no sense. I think it's... You'd never get these lines in Canada. Could these be Norwegian white lines somehow? I'm inclined to believe it's that, but... Sure, this is not the UK. I'm pretty sure this would be a wild UK. And... I don't... It's not France, and they're the two countries where you mostly see these lines. It's surely not Portugal. That actually, I mean, the trees feel too northern, but it at least felt possible to me. This is wild. Whatever this is, I don't know. I'm gonna go Norway. This is a stupid guess, but we're on round one, so why not? Okay, Sweden. Very strange reds for Sweden, but we took the dub on getting the region there, so I'm gonna continue. This is Vancouver Island, I think. Is it? I'm not so sure about that, but I seem to remember... Oh, is it Alaska? Yeah, this kind of looks like... Does it look like Juneau, Alaska? I'd love to see a plate. Plates almost look like they could be correct. We had a round like this with the bridge. Was it Juneau? Does Juneau have a bridge? Yeah. Okay, is this Juneau? I don't see the bridge, so to speak, but I do see the big harbor that they have, like a lot of boats. So we might just be other side of the bridge here. But then again, I don't see like the parking lot that we'd be in here. So that's concerning, you know? I feel like we would see, but maybe this is the bridge here. So maybe we would be like there. But no, I don't think so. But then I don't know where else to go. Ooh, Juneau has a lot more going on up here, actually. So then we could be... No, but we need to see the boats, guys. The boats are down here, I think. So maybe this is a different one. Let's quickly check the other ones. Haynes is not looking correct. We wouldn't see the boats like that. And then there's the other one. Is it this one? No, I don't think that one's covered. There's one more that's like quite populated here. I forget which one it's actually called, but maybe it's a bit further down here. I just don't remember which ones of these are popular. So I'm gonna go Juneau, whatever. Let's try it. And okay, it was this one. Okay, we could have found that, to be fair. But yep, still 4.5k, still the right region. Let's go. Next one here, actually going to be somewhere in Malaysia. We've got the black sticker on the pole. This is very touristy. So my thought was that we might be running it back on Penang or maybe Langkawi, just because of how touristy it does feel. The bin with the green lid like that, that is a south bin. So all of a sudden I'm thinking that we could be on like this island. Yes, we could, but you would have not such a road here. Like this island does not have such a road, I think. What about these other ones? I don't think any of these islands would have a road like that. So then we have to be creative again. This is indeed a south bin, Johor style bin. Maybe this is just Johor, like in the city somewhere. You do have hills like that. I'm gonna send Johor here. I think it's a decent guess. Okay, it was southern-ish. Very interesting place there. Quite a cool place, honestly. Looks like a fun place to visit. We get a decent score. We can deal with that. Next one here. Are we back again? No, we have a Thai poll this time. Thailand. I don't really know what I would guess here. This is kind of a mixed vibe for north and south. I think I would just click middle north here, or something like that. Feels okay. It was middle. And the last one here is on Svalbard. So I don't know. I think we're gonna have to come back to this map, guys. I have work in the morning, so I will now end the video. But we can restart the next video on a 4-country streak, and we will get a good score. I promise you guys. Yeah, so until next time, guys, shouts to Debre for this crazy map, and I will endeavor to get a good score next time. So, goodbye.